Hey there, retail execs. Have you ever seen that look on a customer's face? The one where they're clearly searching for a gift, but they're totally lost. It's like they're wandering through a jungle of products with no map and no compass.
Yeah, I can picture it now. Eyes glazed over, a slight sense of panic setting in.
Today's deep dive is all about giving you the tools and strategies to help your associates become those expert guides. The ones who can transform that gift-buying anxiety into a truly enjoyable experience.
Because let's face it, helping customers find the perfect gift, it's not just about boosting individual sales, it has ripple effects.
Oh, absolutely. It builds customer loyalty, creates those positive word-of-mouth moments, and cements your brand as the go-to destination for thoughtful gift giving.
Exactly. We're talking about creating a brand experience that goes beyond the transaction. It's about creating a connection, an emotion.
All right, so for this deep dive, we're going to extract some serious wisdom from the Multimedia Plus blog post, The Art of Helping Customers Find the Perfect Gift.
Great post, packed with insights.
It really dives into the emotional roller coaster that gift giving can be for customers. It's exciting, it's meaningful, but it can also be incredibly stressful.
Oh, yeah, think about it. They want to find something that truly reflects their relationship with the recipient, something that will bring joy, not disappointment.
And they're often on a tight deadline. Maybe it's a last-minute scramble, or they're trying to find something unique for that person who has everything.
And that's where the magic of a well-trained associate comes in. They can step in and become a gift-giving superhero, guiding the customer through the process, alleviating the stress, and helping them find that perfect expression of their feelings.
Love that. A gift-giving superhero. Now, the blog lays out 5 key skills that are essential for associates to master this art. Let's break them down one by one.
Sounds good.
Skill number 1, deep product knowledge.
This one seems pretty obvious, right? But it goes way beyond just memorizing specs and features.
Totally. You need to know the products inside and out,
Mhm.
but you also need to be able to convey the experience, the feeling that a product evokes.
Imagine someone's looking for a gift, let's say a high-end scarf. An associate who can only talk about the thread count is missing the mark.
Yeah, they need to paint a picture.
Exactly. Help the customer imagine the recipient wrapped in that luxurious fabric, feeling stylish and confident.
Almost like they're helping the customer write a mini story about the gift and the person receiving it.
I like that, a mini story, because that's what makes it memorable, that's what makes it special.
So it's not just about selling the product, it's about selling the emotion, the story behind it.
Spot on. And to do that effectively, associates need ongoing training, not just a one-time product rundown.
Makes sense because products change, new trends emerge. You need to keep your team updated.
Absolutely. And there are some great tools out there to help with this, like the Insight platform, which delivers bite-sized learning modules that fit into busy schedules.
I love those bite-sized learning tools. They're perfect for the fast-paced retail world.
And don't underestimate the power of encouraging your team to share their own personal experiences with products.
Oh, that's a great point. Because when an associate can say, I bought this for my mom and she absolutely loved it, it adds a layer of authenticity and relatability.
Right. It's like they're sharing a secret, a little insider tip.
Okay, that's skill number 1, deep product knowledge, check. On to skill number 2, active listening and empathy. This one seems pretty basic, but I have a feeling there's more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, definitely. It's not enough to just ask, who are you shopping for?
Right, you need to go deeper.
A skilled associate asks probing questions. They try to uncover the recipient's hobbies, their personality, the occasion for the gift.
It's like they're playing detective, gathering intel to crack the code of the perfect gift.
Exactly. And the more information they gather, the better equipped they are to make a truly personalized recommendation.
So it's not about pushing the product with the highest margin. It's about finding the product that will genuinely resonate with the recipient.
You got it. And that's what creates a truly positive and memorable experience for the customer.
Okay, on to skill number 3, storytelling and personalization. This one really excites me because it taps into the power of creating those emotional connections we were talking about.
Storytelling is such a powerful tool, especially when it comes to making a product stand out from the crowd.
The blog talks about weaving anecdotes into presentations to make items more memorable. Can you give us an example of how that might work in practice?
Sure. Let's say you're selling a handmade bracelet. Instead of just listing the materials, the associate could share a story about the artisan who created it.
Oh, I love that.
talk about their inspiration, their unique techniques. Suddenly that bracelet becomes more than just an object. It has a history, a soul.
It's like each item in your store has a secret backstory waiting to be unlocked.
And when you share that story, you elevate the entire shopping experience.
You create a connection, a sense of discovery.
And don't forget about the power of presentation.
Oh yeah, the wrapping, the bag, the little details that show you've really listened and care about making the gift special.
If the recipient loves to travel, maybe you use map-themed wrapping paper or include a luggage tag. It's all about those thoughtful touches.
Absolutely, those little things can make a big difference.
They show you've gone the extra mile, that you're not just trying to make a sale, you're trying to create an experience.
Okay, on to skill number 4, confidence in handling uncertainty. Let's be honest, some customers walk in with absolutely no clue what they're looking for.
It's true, they're overwhelmed by the choices. They're not sure where to start.
They need a guide, a gentle nudge in the right direction.
And that's where training for those what-if scenarios comes into play.
You mean preparing your associates for those moments when a customer says, I have no idea what to get my spouse for their birthday?
Exactly. Role-playing is a fantastic way to help associates get comfortable guiding indecisive shoppers.
So they can practice asking those probing questions, offering curated suggestions, narrowing down the options.
And all while maintaining a friendly and helpful demeanor, because you don't want to make the customer feel pressured or judged.
Right, it's about being a partner in the process, not a salesperson pushing a product.
And that leads us to our 5th and final skill, cultural and emotional awareness.
Now, this one is becoming increasingly important as the world becomes more diverse and interconnected.
Absolutely. Gift-giving norms vary wildly depending on the relationship and cultural context.
What might be considered a thoughtful gesture in one culture could be totally inappropriate in another.
It's about being sensitive to those nuances, avoiding potential pitfalls.
So how do we equip our associates to navigate this complex landscape?
Diversity and inclusion training plays a key role here. It helps associates understand different cultural perspectives and sensitivities.
It's about creating a shopping experience that feels inclusive and personalized for every customer.
Exactly, a space where everyone feels seen and understood.
Which ultimately benefits everyone, right? Happier customers, more confident associates, and a stronger brand.
It's a win-win all around.
Okay, so we've covered the 5 key skills for gift-giving mastery: deep product knowledge, active listening and empathy, storytelling and personalization, confidence in handling uncertainty, and cultural and emotional awareness. It's a pretty impressive skill set.
It is, and it's what sets apart the good from the truly exceptional.
But here's the big question. How do we as retail executives actually train our teams to put all of this into practice in the real world? We know you're all incredibly busy juggling a million things at once, so how do we make training engaging and impactful without taking associates off the floor for hours on end?
One of the most effective techniques is scenario-based training. It's all about putting your associates in those real-life gift-buying situations.
You mean like giving them a taste of the pressure and the excitement of helping a customer find that perfect something?
Exactly. Picture this. You gather your team and present them with a scenario. It could be anything. A frazzled parent searching for a last-minute birthday gift. Or maybe someone trying to impress their new boss with a unique housewarming present. The possibilities are endless.
Ooh, I like it. It's like a gift-giving obstacle course.
And as they navigate these scenarios, they're practicing all those essential skills we talked about: the active listening, the probing questions, the storytelling, the personalization.
It's a safe space for them to experiment, try different approaches, and really hone their skills without the fear of, messing up a real customer interaction.
Precisely. And the beauty of it is they can get feedback from their peers, from their managers, so it's a constant learning process.
So it's like a dress rehearsal before the big opening night.
I like that analogy. And the more they practice, the more confident and adaptable they'll become when faced with those real-world gift-buying challenges.
Okay, so we've got scenario-based training. What about leveraging technology?
Yeah.
I feel like there are some amazing digital tools out there that can really enhance the learning experience.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Interactive training modules that associates can access on their phones, quick reference guides with key product information, even video demonstrations of how to, let's say, showcase a product's unique features.
It's like giving them a secret weapon, but instead of a high-tech gadget, it's a pocket full of knowledge and expertise.
Exactly. And the beauty of these digital tools is that they're perfect for micro-learning.
You mean like those little bursts of training that can fit into those spare moments throughout the day?
Right. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it all adds up.
Makes total sense.
Yucks.
And it's so much more manageable than pulling someone off the floor for a lengthy training session.
Now let's not forget the power of good old-fashioned observation and feedback.
You mean actually taking the time to watch how our associates are interacting with customers in those gift-buying situations?
Exactly. Are they asking open-ended questions? Are they really listening to the customer's needs? Are they making that all-important emotional connection?
Because those observations are pure gold when it comes to identifying areas for improvement.
And providing personalized coaching.
It's like on-the-job training, but with a laser focus on those gift assistant skills we've been discussing.
And don't underestimate the power of positive reinforcement.
You mean catching someone doing something right and letting them know you appreciate their efforts?
Precisely. A little praise can go a long way in boosting morale and motivation.
It's like that saying, what gets rewarded gets repeated.
Exactly. Create a culture where exceptional gift assistance is celebrated, and you'll see those behaviors multiply.
Okay, so we've got scenario-based training, digital tools, on-the-job observation, feedback, and a good dose of positive reinforcement. It sounds like a winning combination.
It is, but here's a key point that I think is really important for retail executives to keep in mind. All of these training efforts should be aligned with your overall business strategy.
You mean it can't just be a random act of gift-giving kindness. It needs to be integrated into the DNA of your brand.
You got it. If building customer loyalty and creating memorable experiences are at the heart of your brand's values, then empowering your associates to become expert gift guides should be a natural extension of that vision.
It makes perfect sense. You don't want customers to feel like they're getting exceptional service in one area and then a generic transactional experience in another.
Right. It's about weaving that commitment to customer centricity into every touch point.
So it's not just about training. It's about creating a culture of exceptional service.
And when you get that right, it translates into happy, loyal customers who come back for more and spread the word to their friends and family.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the emotional side of gift giving. What are some of the nuances that come into play here, both for the customer and the recipient?
It's such an important aspect and one that often gets overlooked in the hustle and bustle of retail. Think about it from the customer's perspective. They're not just buying a product. They're trying to express their feelings, their relationship with the recipient through a tangible object.
Oh, absolutely. It's like they're trying to capture the essence of their relationship in a beautifully wrapped package.
And that can be a lot of pressure. They want to get it right. They want to evoke those feelings of joy, appreciation, love.
It's a lot to put on a pair of fuzzy socks.
Right. And that's where the empathy and emotional intelligence of your associates becomes so crucial.
You mean being able to read between the lines, to understand those unspoken needs and anxieties?
Exactly. By tuning into those subtle cues, an associate can guide the customer through the process with a gentle hand and a listening ear.
It's about creating a safe space where customers feel comfortable expressing their doubts, their hopes, their sometimes totally wacky gift ideas.
And it's about being present, being genuinely invested, and helping them find that perfect solution.
It's not just about suggesting products. It's about connecting with the customer on a human level.
You nailed it. And when you get that right, it creates a bond of trust that goes beyond the transactional. It makes the entire experience more meaningful, more memorable.
And let's not forget about the recipient. A well-chosen gift can spark joy, strengthen relationships, create lasting memories.
Absolutely. A gift that truly resonates with the recipient, it can evoke feelings of love, appreciation, excitement, even a sense of being seen and understood.
It's about the thoughtfulness, the effort behind it, the message it conveys.
It's the little things that make a big impact.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. The essential skills, the training techniques, the emotional nuances of gift giving. But let's get real for a second. As retail execs, you know that putting all of this into practice isn't always easy.
It's true. There are challenges, obstacles, roadblocks along the way.
So let's talk about those challenges. What are some of the biggest hurdles that retail execs might face when it comes to, really upping their gift assistance game?
Well, I think time is always a big one.
Yeah, time is definitely the enemy in retail.
You're managing schedules, you're chasing sales targets, you're trying to keep up with inventory. It's a whirlwind.
And finding the time for training, especially ongoing training, can feel like an impossible task.
Right. You're already stretched thin, so adding one more thing to the to-do list can be daunting.
And then there's the issue of consistency.
Oh, consistency is huge.
You might have a few rock star associates who are naturally gifted at helping customers find the perfect present.
Those are the gems. The ones you wish you could clone.
But how do you make sure that same level of service is happening across your entire team?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
You want to create a culture where exceptional gift assistance is the norm, not the exception.
And of course, we can't forget about the budget.
Yeah, the budget is always a factor.
Investing in new training programs, tools, resources, it can be a strain, especially for smaller businesses.
It's a balancing act. You want to provide the best possible support for your team, but you also have to be mindful of the bottom line.
So we've got time constraints, consistency issues, budget limitations. These are all very real obstacles that retail execs face every day. So how do we overcome them? What advice does the blog offer for leaders who are ready to make gift assistance a top priority?
Well, I think it starts with a mindset shift.
You mean like a change in perspective?
Exactly. You have to see this as a strategic investment, not just another expense.
Because when you invest in your team, you're ultimately investing in your customers, in your brand.
And that investment pays off in the form of increased customer loyalty, positive word of mouth, a stronger brand reputation.
It's about creating those win-win scenarios where everyone benefits.
Right. Once you've made that commitment, you can start to get creative with solutions.
So for those time-crunched retailers, what are some strategies to make training more manageable?
Well, I think microlearning is a game changer.
Those bite-sized training modules we talked about.
Exactly. They fit perfectly into the flow of a busy workday. A few minutes here, a few minutes there.
It's about making the most of those little pockets of downtime.
Right. You can also empower store managers to take ownership of training.
So give them the tools and resources they need to conduct quick, impactful sessions with their teams.
Exactly. Delegate and conquer.
Makes sense. But what about the consistency issue? How do you ensure that everyone's on the same page, providing that same elevated level of service?
Well, I think clear standards and expectations are key.
So define what good looks like.
Exactly. Create a clear roadmap that outlines the behaviors, the skills, the mindset that you expect from every associate.
And then it's all about reinforcement.
Oh, absolutely. Regularly observe how your team is interacting with customers, provide specific feedback, acknowledge those who are going above and beyond.
It's about catching them doing things right and letting them know you appreciate their efforts.
And for those budget-conscious retailers, remember, there are tons of free or low-cost training resources available.
Articles, webinars, podcasts like this one, the information is out there.
It's about being resourceful, being creative.
And don't forget the power of peer-to-peer learning.
Oh, that's a great point. Encourage your team to share their tips, their successes, their challenges with each other.
It's about creating a culture of continuous learning and improvement.
Exactly. So to wrap it all up, I think the key takeaway for our retail executive listeners today is this. Helping customers find the perfect gift is a skill that can be learned and mastered. It's not about luck. It's not about intuition. It's about giving your team the tools, the training, and the motivation to excel.
And when you do that, the payoff is huge. Increased customer loyalty, positive word of mouth, a brand that stands out from the crowd for all the right reasons.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
I love that. A win-win for everyone. Great advice. Thanks for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.
For our retail executive listeners out there, we hope this has sparked some ideas and inspired you to elevate your gift-giving game to the next level.
Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to create a memorable experience, to turn a gift-giving occasion into a brand-building moment.
So keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep raising the bar for exceptional customer service.
And until next time, happy gift-giving.